Welcome to Bundota, lads. Bundota. This is below the Mulcair, below Anacari. And see, that's a fine hole that is. Only thing now, in like most holes, it can be very snaggy. But it always holds a few fish. And mine, how the bank has got high. Before you could get down, you'd be right, you could get close to the water. And make a grand place for diving off it now. Big lump for tree across the water up there. Now lads, I'll just give you a quick little story. I remember fishing up there one time in around June, and we were above an Anacari fishing. Again, this was back in the late 80s. And there wasn't a sign of a fish up in Anacari, and there was about 10 or 12 fishermen fishing up there, and the water was perfect. There was a perfect flood on the river, and there wasn't a sign of a fish. And I came down there, and me and Shane Brown, Larry Mercy and Shane, a friend of mine, and Larry Mercy, my father, and Larry Mercy and Tony Brown, Shane's father. They were best friends, and me and Shane were best friends. Shane is gone, he got killed in a truck crash about 10 years ago, Larry Mercy and him. But we came down there, and we sat down, we had a cup of tea, we lit a fire, there was no flasks, we lit a fire and we had a cup of tea. So I had 2 worms and I threw them out, and I constantly was meeting trout. I'll show you now, I'll try and zoom up to give you a look. Up down there by them reeds. I was constantly meeting trout. The bank was a lot clearer now then, right? I was constantly meeting trout, so I decided to have the cup of tea. So there was only bits of worms now, and I mean you could see the hook all over the place, and I just fucking threw it out there, and I says, fuck it, well I'm having the tea, I'll sort it out after a cup of tea. Just about to put the cup of tea to my mouth, the rod, boom, boom, boom. Said, what the fuck? Says I, boom, 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 boom. So I grabbed it up, says I know this had to be fish, or what in the name of God? I said, as I hit down this, so I hit, bang, in him. A pair about 5 pound, a brownback, like, they're a great fighting fish. If you ever caught them, or if you, I don't know if they're as plentiful as they used to be, but the brownback, you have the blue back or the black back, and you have the brownback pail. He was covered in sea lice, right? But swallowed the worms now, like at the hook, you could see the hook all over the place, bang, and right in at the corner of the bank it was. Swallowed him and he went bang in him, so I got him. A fish about 5 pound. Couldn't believe it. Sat down, had my straight down, says I, God bless it, says I. Me and Jim were chatting away, so I just threw it out again. I says to myself, I didn't know how that happened, so I said, I just threw it out. Same thing, never even changed the worms, put a cup of tea out to my mouth, and no sooner hit the water, and bang, bang, the rod took off again. So what the f, picked up, boom, in him again. Another brownback, about 5 pound, ball of silver. And then after that, I drank my tea, pran this, ate my sandwiches, pran proper worms, fished away and nothing. A few fish started travelling just as we sat down. So when we went back up to Anacari, the father was after telling me a couple of fish was after going. I said, I know, I got 2 brownbacks below, 2 balls of silver. Did anyone get anything up here? There was about 10 or 12 fishermen there, and then they got 1 fish. The fish just shot through it, pshum, pshum, pshum. They wouldn't look at nothing. I just happened to get 2 on literally a plain hook. I'm not messing with you, I can't express enough how little worms was on the hook. The trout had all the worms' tail, there was nothing but 2 heads on the line and a hook with all bitty bits of worm on it. And there's my hook, as you can see, a barbless hook. No barbs on the hook. But anyway, so 2 brownbacks I got. And that was called a stroke. Look, back in the day now, in the 80s, man, I sold him 2 fish and I got about 40 quid for them. As I said before, that was a lot of money back in the days. Anyway lads, what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to fish that here for a while. See that? I can't throw fly down here either. But I'm going to walk off down a minute, down the Mulcair, down to where the Mulcair meets the Shannon River. Just for the anglers who might want to see it. So this is known as Bundota. And a carry's up there, that's the rugby field out there. It comes down along there, there isn't much fishing. There's 1 hole around the corner there, alright. The rest of the streams you can't really fish it. Now you can fish bear all along there, spinners if you wanted to. But I'll see, I'm just out relaxing, you know, the sun is shining, it's out for the evening, I am after work again. So, what time is it now? It's a bit later this evening again. Oh no, it's only 20 to 6, so I'm not doing bad at all. I don't know will I be able to get in further down. I'd like to fish in the shade. I don't want to be throwing the worms out into that sunlight. So I'll have a little look and see, so we'll see how we get on, we'll see how we get on. That's the rolling pitch there. The rhinos or whatever they call it. I park over there on the Anacari, only about a mile up the river there now, a mile. This brings you down here now to Brownsville. Half down the river, or is it Laxville? No, Brownsville. I forget the name of half the places. Even though I still fish like, but the names slip my mind sometimes. I got many fish down here now through the years, like, you know. But that day, like, that was like, there was like, I never got fish ever again before or after like that. Right, so here's a little spot here now. The only thing now, this always holds fish, but it can be snaggy. But I'm sure now many a man has been in here before me, but that's not going to deter me, because I'm really out just to be out and about and enjoying the beautiful evening. I'd rather it was cloudy, but what can you do? Getting a bit snaggy, I'll give it a whirl and see how I get on. Then I'm going to head off down the river and show you where the Mulcair meets the Shannon. Again, this is for the fishermen. I suppose I'll spin an old yarn as I'm going along the way. I always have an old yarn to spin. So I'll get back to you in a few, lads. I'll get back to you in a few. Well, lads, I'm tucked away in a lovely little spot here. Those sandwiches again, they're covered here. All flascaroni, you know yourselves now, people. The lot. Lovely fresh bread I just got there inside the bakery. Just freshly baked. As I said, that'll be stale by the morning. No added preservatives. It doesn't even need meat. I just have it to get this, bread and butter. I don't even bother with a bit of meat. Alright, son. Bad spot for fishing, that's fucking very snaggy here. My first try now, like, and I'm going to lose all the gear. Second one there. And I know it's this whole duck this fucking spot to fishing. Definitely going to. There's lumps of trees in there, like, they're in there as long as I can remember. Now I'm getting a buzz nest on the line and all. That's all I need now, and in the middle of me hopper there. I just cast it out, you see, left it out of my hand for a minute. So don't be surprised now if a Neil picked it up, and it's snaggy enough, like, but there is eels down here as well, and we'll leave it out of your hand for 2 minutes. And Neil will just head on into a snag with it. This is all I need, all that's a bird's nest. It's my bird's nest, but please believe me. And hold on, hold on. I think me, me ghost is cooked. Nah, look at this thing, you couldn't tie this fucking knot if you tried. Please believe me. Patience, that's what you have to have. You need patience, because if you don't and you're pulling it, you have a knot, and then your ghost, you have to start breaking the line and messing about, and you've had enough and stuck the sword in the bottom. And I can feel the line moving around the wood down there. Just going to get a minute anyway, boys. All fishermen in the world will have me a cup of tea. But that's usually a good hole, but as I said, it's a fucking dirty old hole to fish in. Right? Fuck it now. I tell you about one thing for sure, I was watching a few programs there on YouTube. As I said, I don't watch TV. Trust me. The fucking world has gone crazy. Fucking flag this guy. You shit that's going on this day and age. It's after chat, like I used to have videos out for years, lads. Remember? Taking this in my hands unfair. I'm after killing over, lads. I thought I was the last man standing. I did say that not long ago. I'm a gun, I'm good. Right. there now first thing. I just after. You know, sort of not much now, is there, lads? No, you come out in the first fuck. I got that, lads. Please believe me. Ah, sure, to be sure, to be sure. Well, now, boys. Not bad. In the bottoms of the stride, but sure, who gives the rat's ass? I'm just glad I didn't have to go tying up the whole lot. I'll fuck him out there again. See, I'm gonna get myself a brown back. Yup! See, in this one you want to be throwing it down the river. There's less chances of rolling into a snag. Just lob it there and just pray it doesn't land on top of lumber wood. For now, like, obviously you'd hold the line in your hand, but look, I'm having a cup of tea and I'm waffling. So, the video I put up there, I'll put it up in a while there, uploading as we speak at home. I was above in the monkey puzzle, and I was on about, you know, pharmacies and the way people use pharmacies all the time. Well, pharmacy, the original word for pharmacy is called pharmacist. That's where the word pharmacy comes from. And a pharmacist was someone that used to hand down poison. So, if you watch my last video, you might be able to put this together, what I'm talking about. The pharmacist became a pharmacy, and it's someone who hands down poison. Do you ever wonder why when you see in a pharmacy, you see the serpent, the snake and up a sword? Why is that? Because when the elite speak to you, the controllers of the world, they speak in symbols, signs and colours. They do not speak in plain language like we do. So, and then you have all these musicians go up on stage and they be throwing up this is the devil horns, like this is to represent Satan. That's what that represents. And when you do that, you're putting a curse out. I not know because I'm explaining, but that's what it is. And when people are at all the big concerts, so-called concerts, looking up at the prostitutes and the whores and the pimps that call themselves singers and rappers and whatnot, they all be throwing up the devil horns. And there you go, it'll be like that. That's just a big fish down there, lads. There he is there, look. I'm in, I'll get back to you. I'll move down my way to him there somewhere. There. Ah, besides an old salmon. There. He's after throwing himself there. He could be throwing himself away from my worms now as well. He could have been lost in the worms, but I better keep an eye on him just in case. Wouldn't say a big fish now, but a fish around, I don't know, 7 pound, probably fair old splash off him. Didn't see him, but I guarantee he came up now and he threw himself. He threw himself sideways, like that. He didn't throw himself that way, because that way it's more of a trunk. When you hear a splash, they're throwing himself sideways. But anyway, I'll try and get back then. Snittles. Do you know snittles, if you grab them fast, they won't sting you. Little sting you, but if you grab them fast, you can't. My great-great-grandmother Nana tried teaching me that. If you don't want to get stung, like there's nittles there, if I touch them easy, they'll sting me. Grab them by the stem and grab them hard, grab them fast. They won't sting you. But I should be really concentrating on that fish there now and not messing about, so. He could have thrown himself away from the worms now. If he was lost in the worms and they're all down around him, he'd see him throw himself sideways away from him. I'll try him now in a minute. But as I was saying, so they'll be throwing up their devil horns. So a lot of people go to concerts, and these pimps and prostitutes and whores that call themselves singers are up on stage and they have everyone else doing all these signs. And they sing songs, then they're all satanic lyrics in them and whatnot. And then the children, your children and people's children, and the radio are constantly playing that music, and if you listen to the lyrics, they're all spells they're casting. You cast a spell with your words. Do you mean when someone wants to cast a spell? When someone wants to cast a spell, and witches and witchcraft, well, they start talking. And they start going talking in tongue. And then they cast their spell with their mouth. Kind of like you spell a word. To spell is to spell a word. And when you put words together, you cast your spell. So, if they want to mislead your children, they'll sing songs and have your children singing the satanic songs as well, casting the spell. That's what Hollywood does. Hollywood comes from the holly tree. You see, the very first ones were made by the Druids in Ireland, right? and they used to make the ones from the holly tree. The holy tree, the holly tree, because it was green all year round. So then Hollywood became the extension of the holly tree. So, and Hollywood cast its spells. Hollywood, from the holly tree, the druids. And then Hollywood makes movies to cast their spells. And they cast them on the children. And they put out people that dress like pimps and prostitutes and tell your children, that's the way you should dress and look up to these idols. And you have more killing and murdering and drug addicts and cocaine. They try to glorify cocaine, they try to glorify being prostitutes, they try to glorify you going around killing as many people as possible, and then you call yourself a hero. So you got to know the way they're trying to catch you and your children, because it's very corrupt these days. Same with Disney. Walt Disney, that's satanic. Netflix is satanic. You got to look into all these things. Gotta look into all these things and educate yourself. As I say, like, again, if you watch my previous video from yesterday, when I'm talking about in school and I wouldn't listen, I used to say like a school is a school of fish. So I used to say another word for a school. Like, you know, a place where people gather where you get educated, and I go, no. Another word for a school is called a fishery. You keep all the fish in the fishery and you make them. You keep all the fish in the fishery and you make all the fish swim in the same direction in a school of fish. And that's where it was for me in school. And if you don't listen in this fishery / school and you decide like you're a wild salmon, we'll suppose, and you want to try to go up this river and think for yourself, they say no. Back in here into the fishery, we're guiding you this way. You're not allowed to think for yourself and go that way. Because if you do, we'll put you down as disruptive, a bad student, won't listen, daydreaming, thinking for yourself. I remember you said that to me in school as well. What's all the daydreaming about? I said, I'm not daydreaming, I'm thinking about things. So, another word for a school, a fishery. So I'll get back to you in a few. Because I'll have to take a bit of fishing more serious than here now, lads, because I've seen the fish in there, and I gotta try him. Fish bus broke there again, lads. It's grand to know there's a few fish around there. So the next few days now, I'm going to hope it's going to be waiting the next cloudy day comes. See, this is Bundota. I haven't fished down here in a few years again. I've been fishing, but I've been fishing other places. And just keep going back around the old haunts now that I didn't fish in a while, in a few years. I say a few years now, it was 4 years since I was down here again. But I'd be fishing away in different places all the time, moving around. But it's good to be back now, man, in fairness. It's good to be back. I'll fish there now. I'm going to give another 5 minutes. Then I'm going to walk down. I'm going to show you where the Mulcair meets the Shannon River. Plassey. Fantastic river it used to be. Fantastic fishery. Not so much these days as well. What's this, lads? There's one for the books for you, right? Someone I didn't catch in years. I'll show you this, like, I'll do this now, it's not easy. And he's a grand old flat fish too, look at him. The last time I caught one of them I was a child, boys. Don't let him off. I got him a barb and a suck on anyway. Look at him, lads. There's a yarn about him the other day. When you talk on him, they'll be very spiky now, these little fellas. It's great to see them around in it because it's years since I caught one. And snow white, man. Long time. In there with your little fella. Yup, or that. I'm gone. And I get shot. So it's a good sign, man. They're still here. I like to see that, man. I didn't catch one of them since I was a child. And he was a healthy looking fella. So on we go. Lads, that fish is at this side. See that snag? He's there. One is down there. See that wall? He's out from that wall. I couldn't get in there, but I'd be up on top of him. So it's not what my while get up on top of him. But that fish there I'm going to try. There's another fish just up here. See those fish all the way down there? This whole place holds fish. So I'm going to give it a whirl, but again it's very snaggy. I shall just the joys of it now. So look, I'll keep a lit and try and save up a bit of power on the old battery or on the memory card.
You here long?
I'm going to have to get now, man. Got out here about half an hour ago. Said it's not what you want coming out when it's too bright, you know, like this.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of wait the evening time and come out and finding places that's sheltered like this, you know what I mean? Because you could do the old river's low as well, so...
I see it all the way down, the bank is gone in most places where we used to fish.
That's right, it's falling apart all over the place.
Isn't it?
I was over in the Newport River there now yesterday evening, and the river, the trees across the river left, right and centre. I mean, when I used to fish years ago, the fishermen used to maintain the river bank.
Yeah.
If the trees were getting too big, they'd trim them
cut
back
them
and
down and,
they'd look after the river bank, you know, and they'd leave some cover for the fish, but they'd maintain the river. But now the river don't get no maintaining. The IFI are supposed to maintain it, but they don't seem to do anything.
No.
They don't even want you fishing, in fairness now. The IFI don't even want you on the river at all. So it's a joke, like, you know what I mean? Children love fishing. I bring my children out fishing, they love it. But if the IFI had their way, they'd say, no, you're not allowed to bring them out fishing either.
They're trying to stop us going down through the pitch here, is it?
It's a joke, isn't it?
No, there's a right away.
Yeah.
For that pitch.
Yeah, and they tried to stop it from
Oh,
coming.
this lovely fella jumped over there now.
Is there?
Yeah.
That man there now, he's a local. He said there's logs. They throw all their shit into the river when they were doing whatever work they done. And they're trying to stop them from crossing the field right away. That people have been walking down years upon years. So I'm coming down here since I'm a child, and that man is bringing his children down, and he's come down since he's a child. And they're trying to stop him from walking through the field. Like, where would you get it? There's a couple of rugby pitches over there now, and there's a gap in between. As when one rugby pitch ends here, another one ends there, so you have all this space in the middle. The posts are here, and the post down there, post here, and the post down there. There's about a 20-foot gap there. I just cut grass. I'll show you in a while. They don't want people wanting to cross that. They don't want you fishing. They don't want you doing nothing. They want you stuck at home, watching the fake news and listening to crap on the TV. I'm going to move on down here a bit now, lads. There's no spot down there, it's very awkward to get into, but I'll give it a whirl. There's another fish broke up there, man's right. Another fish broke up there, I see him, a pail. So I'll give him a shot as well. Right lads, I'll have the camera. And it's another rock. And it's right, 2 inches from the river. And if it falls in, it's gone down to the bottom. I have to try and throw these worms down to that fish. He's off down the road here, but I know it's awful. That might get down the road here. He's down the road there, like. You should see him now. You definitely see him. You can see him sinking. He's around there, about 5-10 feet below where I landed. So I'm just going to tuck myself down there like this, boys. And as we were saying about them singers a while ago, a lot of them singers, alright? A lot of them singers, man, they go on the TV there like they're living the dream. But if you find them on YouTube, which you can, any of these famous singers that people are looking up to, find them on YouTube, where they're caught on camera talking with their friends, and the videos are uploaded, talking about how they get no sleep, constantly having nightmares and demons following them around the place, and they live a miserable life, and they're fully controlled by the system, but they're told go out and smile. And they have no choice. Once you're in the system, you're in the system. There's no getting out. Blood in, blood out. You do not get out. The only way you get out is, well, you wouldn't be alive when you're getting out, I'll put it that way, Joe. You should look it all up, what I'm talking about. This is one of the reasons why they shut down my channel years ago, because I used to tell all these truths, and I had a channel open for 12 years and they just terminated it. Go back and watch my video when I'm talking about the water and all that. If you don't know of a thing called sound, look it up. Sound. It's over there in Switzerland. The Hadron Collider. The Higgs boson. They call it the God particle thing, salt God. They're trying to find out what holds everything together. The glue that holds everything together. And we know the glue is called the Word of God. And again, if you think that I'm doting, well, you're wrong. Do the research and you'll see. This world was created. This wasn't no primeval soup that evolved over millions and billions of years. This is a creation, and we're a part of that creation. We're made in the image and likeness of God, whether you like it or not. The same people, if you think I'm lying, look at all these people on stage. They're always having satanic. They dance satanic, they dress satanic, their lyrics are satanic, they worship the dark side, they worship Satan. Look at it, watch their videos and you'll see all the Luciferian videos they have, and they're worshipping Satan. Look up Aleister Crowley. Look up Aleister Crowley, the man who wrote the Book of Satan. These people know, and they all believe in Satan. So if there's a Satan, there's a God. And they're worshipping the dark side. The money, the money. It's all about the money with them. But remember, there's no tow bar on a horse. On a horse, there's no tow bar and you can't take it with you. So, they all truly believe in devils and demons and the satanic realm. Witchcraft. Do you think that's mock? Witchcraft. Are all them people that do witchcraft so doting with the birds, are they? All fairy tales supposed to be, is it? They take that 100% serious, and people that fuck around with it, they regret it. A lot of them goes on to live on miserable existence. They wish they've never done it, never messed around with their witchy birds and their witch birds in the dark side. Because there is a dark side and there is a bright side, and you're going to walk in the light or you can walk in the dark. I'm not talking bullshit. This is no fairy tale. I'm on this planet a long time. I know what I'm talking about. I try to indoctrinate you, you see. All this TikTok and spy book and all these different sites to have your children on. And God knows you give your child a phone. Just, I don't even want to say it. Just go into any Google search engine and you do a full minute search and just look at what your children are looking at. That's why my children, I'd never give them a smartphone. They'd never get, they will when they're 18, but they'll be getting no phones. I won't be having their mind poisoned while they're young. Pornography and filth and disgust and violating your body and having no respect for yourself. That's what they push out. Just look at them up on stage, these singers, Rihanna, Gaga, Britney. Look at the way they all dress, Miley Cyrus. Look at the carry-on of them up on stage. Would you like your daughter to turn out like that, would you? Or rappers like Eminem, a plonker, thinks he's the sham, talking about hating his mother and all the bad things he says about his parents. And getting guns and women and drugs. And is that the way you want your boys, your children to grow up, is it? Not my children, I can tell you that. And look up the Gotthard Tunnel. There's a story when they opened the Gotthard Tunnel, right? The story with that was years and years ago. The devil came out of the tunnel and a woman threw a stone at the devil. And the devil threw a stone back at the woman. And then she threw a bigger stone at the devil. And then the devil summoned up a massive stone and he fired at her and he got stuck in the cave. And he got stuck in behind that stone he had thrown, that rock. And she ran over to it and put a cross on it. And that was the story with the Gotthard Tunnel for years, and it was kept that way. And then a couple of years ago they decided to take away that rock and turn it into a tunnel. It's one of the longest tunnels up there, and where is the Gotthard Tunnel? I think it's in Sweden, Switzerland, up that way. I was in Norway, I know Norway, I was up in Norway, salmon fished in Norway, I worked in Norway. I worked in Germany, France, Austria, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic. I was up at the Russian borders. I was all over Europe for years working. But look up the Gotthard Tunnel when they opened it up. A big satanic ritual is what they done when they opened it. Just look it up. The Gotthard Tunnel. I think it's G-O-T-H-A-R-D, Gotthard Tunnel. Right up Gotthard Tunnel, satanic ritual, and you'll see what's going on. You'll see the truth of what's going on in this world. I'll click the water in there like, but there's a fish down there anyway. He don't want to look at it. Cast out on that. I don't want to put a lump of lead on or anything to bring it down, because it will just stick to the bottom like that, like a lump of lead. So I'm just using a swivel to try and get some bit of a flow on this thing. And in Salmon, the person who runs it, the head of the cell, they call her Father, and it's a woman, and her name is Father. And a fella that worked in Salmon said that they were opening up gateways, literally opening gateways to hell, right, is what they're doing. And he said that when they opened up the gate one time for a few seconds, that he could see 3 big huge figures. He said they were like vampires or something. He said they were about 10 foot, 12 foot long. Big, long, dark creatures, he goes. They were like vampires or demons, because they could be seen through the wormhole that they were opening up in Salmon. You see, they're telling you one thing, but they're doing something else. And he said that years and years ago. And then, funny enough, when they done the Gotthard Tunnel, when they opened that up a couple of years later, they showed you the tunnel being opened and a big satanic eye, and you see these big 3 white things floating around. Like your man had seen 3 black things, of course, they made them white to give him the look of supposed to be good. And you see them all in the ritual, and they're all waving their hands and moving their hands, and they're supposed to be floating away. Then the devil comes up on a train. They're all on the train, they're getting enslaved. And one woman is flying around in it, she has no clothes on, and she looks like Baphomet. And then you see all the people going around there. This is all a part of the ritual they've done for the world to look at. You see the men and the women, and they're dressed like women, they're all dressed like brides. Because satanic, the devil's brides as man and woman, because the devil don't give a rat's ass. So the men and the women all look like brides. And next you see the devil comes up, he's a goat. Up out of hell he comes, and he's running around and he's touching people, and they're dropping dead, supposed to be. Look it up. I'm not making this stuff up. The whole world this was out for to see. And a lot of countries said it. This was a one big satanic ritual. But did our TV talk about it here in Ireland? No, not at all. Because this country's ghost. We're owned by the UN outside. Well, they own our politicians, they don't own our people. That's why they want to bring in a cashless society. They want to get rid of all cash. So they'll know if you were... Oh, Paddy was down in Mary's shop this morning, he bought a litre of milk and at 11:05 on the 15th of September. And exactly where he was, what he bought, what time he bought them, and how much he bought, and how much he paid for it. They want to control everything. Control your mind, control your body, control your finances. And control where you go, your movements. You know what you think the by the way pandemic was all about? Telling us people to be dropping in their millions, and they're dropping in millions. The only people that were suffering were the old folk. They were abandoned by the system, right? People couldn't see their loved ones. It was like a new strain of the flu. And if you have underlying problems and you get a bad dose of the flu, it can turn into pneumonia and shit like that, and you can die. And a lot of people did die. But mainly old folks. And then they started bringing out the old stick that in you. Something that I wouldn't have around me or my children. And you should look how many people slipped off the perch and stack him on the scene. Like Bill Gates. Like Bill Gates never done a single day in his life in any hospital or studied anything about being a doctor or anything like that. Nothing. Bill Gates has done computers. He knows nothing about being a doctor or looking out for your health. But all of a sudden, he's, by the way, God's gift. He's he to the world. He was on a programme I was watching him one day. He said he made 8 billion off of the old these were different ones of them things. I can't say the word because YouTube, but them things that you get stuck into, 8 billion profit he said he made. This was about 15 years ago. He brought it out in the third world country. He gave them all it. And what did most of the people turn out to be? Steroid. That's what he done to them. Look him up and you'll see him back in 2019 on about controlling the world and how they want to bring the population of the world down by 30 and 40%. And all the people in the audience clapping for him. Basically he was on about genocide of half the world population. He didn't say nothing about himself. Why didn't he take himself out of the picture? No. Same with that George Soros and all the likes of them, man. Funds a lot of the disruption and the hate and the division that they sow into countries through the news, through the fake media. Like they never give you good news, it's always bad news with them, bad news, you never have nothing good to say. That's why I said to people, don't watch the news, don't be listening to them. Would you know anything about the, by the way, pandemic, if we didn't hear it in the news and the radio, bombarded into your head every 15 minutes on the radio? Your local radio that cares about you, supposed to be, who put on all the satanic songs for your children, and the TV who cares about you, who puts on disgusting movies for your children to mislead them. Turn off your TV, turn off your television and your radio and walk out and say, didn't look around and say, where's all this hate and all this pandemic and these people dropping like flies, where's it all at? There isn't much sign of it, is there? But turn back on your TV and your radio and you'll hear nothing but it. So, you understand you've been brainwashed. I'll get him to look at that down there, lads. See, I could try and get down there and get in and tap him, but I'd be up in his fucking back, you see. Somewhere I don't want to be. There's still a good half an hour now left in the golden hour. Yeah. 10 to 7 now. Cut off time is about 7:30, I'd say. Because it gets dark now these days, at 8:30 it's dark actually. But as I said, you could throw fish in the night time, and you could be fishing tiny little black flies, the canis, fisherman's curse they're called, the canis, because they're so small to mimic. That's why they call the fisherman's curse. It's very hard to mimic them and put them on a hook and fish them. But the canis, if you do, you put the tiniest little fly on you like, and bang, trout will take him. He can be jet black in the middle of the night, and yet them trout can see them flies. Don't ask me. I know I fish trout flies, fish by night many a time, like it's brilliant. I used to fish my father, they're 2 and 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Be fishing, getting trout 3 and 4 pound weight back in the day. They're rare these days, I can tell you that. And it's not because of the fishermen, it's because of the pollutants gone into the rivers. They're on about the crayfish plague. I mean, as I said in my other video, you've seen it, there was a time crayfish was classed as the water was good water, clean water. Now they say, oh, they're poisoning the place. They have to blame someone. Someone always gets to blame. We'll blame the crayfish. So I said, nothing about the pesticides pouring in through the dock. And it goes down in boats. The IFI, when they're doing their damage, when they're in boats damaging the place, they'll go down in boats and they'll spray all the hogweed, which they can't stop anyway. They'll spray all that hogweed, and then the poison that they spray with that comes back into the river. starts killing the river then as well and poisoning the river, and then sure we'll blame the crayfish for that as well. That's a fish there, look. Look boys, there's a fish just there behind the snake. See again, he's right up top of the snake. I'll try and show you very broad. There's always a few fish around here. Just there. Just there, looking down around by that snake up there. Stroke breaking there now, but that's a fish, he's there. Like the one I've seen down here. I'm going to go up and give him a whirl, because I can get at him. This fella seems to be a bit far down to try and get at. So look anyway lads, look, keep it lit, right, and educate yourself. Don't be a victim for society, you know what I mean? Use your mind before it's too late, because if they have their way, they'll take that off you as well. That fish is at this side, see that snake? He's there. One is down there, see that wall? He's out from that wall. I couldn't get in there, but I'd be up on top of him. So it's not what my while get up on top of him. But that fish there I'm going to try. There's another fish just up here. See, there's fish all the way down there. This whole place holds fish. So I'm going to give it a whirl, but again it's very snaky. I shall just the joys of it now. So look, I'll keep it lit and try and save up a bit of power on the old battery or on the memory card. Right, fishermen of the world, I'm down here and that's known as Brown's Weir down there. You see the fish normally coming in over it. And after coming down over there, what's known as the black pipe. Our children used to climb over that black pipe. You can get up in it just here, climb over, shimmy up, and then you get to the top up there, you see. You have to get around that thing there. And you'll be a gate, that's the hardest part to get around. Then you'd have a fence over there trying to stop it and getting around. You can see just see the bars. We used to go over and back. And when they'd be flooding it, and the water up in the bank here, when you'd be stuck, you'd go over them there, like, because my father wasn't the happiest, you know, we were doing these things, like, you know what I mean? Or the fishermen would be giving out, you know, they only run open them pipes till fall off and get killed and whatnot. It mightn't look much, but when you're up there now looking down and the water's passing you out, and you start throwing your eyes off, you'll kind of lose your balance, you would. So yeah, the black pipe, great place for it. I've seen a good few fish now, lads, since I got here. I've seen a couple of fish, couple of pair, 1 or 2 salmon. So I'm not going to get a chance to go down the whole way down the river. But I'll get out tomorrow evening and I'll land down and show you, for anyone who wants to see it. So up to the channel if you like what you see, lads. Hit the bell for notifications. And don't be afraid to give the old thumbs up as well. It's all, I don't monetize my videos, it's all free. I'm not in it for the money. So it's just, it keeps the algorithm off your back, you know. So, there you go anyway lads. So I'm going to get myself another cup of tea now. And I'm going to chill for a while. I'll try and get up in that pipe if I don't. See the memory card is running out. I'll try and shimmy up in a minute and give you a little look. No, I definitely can't do it with one hand lads. You go up there and you get past them trees and hold on to it. Whatever's down there. You're up a nice little bit. No, I was going to chance it there now, but it's not worth it. I'll fall in. I'll be sorry then. Let's see. I'll just get out another bit. Give you a little look what we used to do when we were children. Now, so you'll be looking down on the river moving by you. That's your obstacle there, getting past that thing. So I'm up a good 25 feet just here alone off the river. In the gale below. I'm going to get myself a cup of tea lads. There's a Brown's Weir down there. See the fish coming in over that place. So tomorrow I'll head on down and bring you right down to the mouth of the river as I said. Fish after breaking above there lads. Definitely fish after breaking up there. There's a few fish longer than the always holds fish. So I'll get back down how the hell now. Down that way there now, see past them trees again. So we'll keep it lit. So now lads, so I'll do a bit of magic now, will I? And I'll see you later. So with that said, God bless. Well lads, you know I just caught up nuts again.